Oop asked her husband if he still loves her. His answer: you ask some difficult questions.
I'm not the Oop. This was posted by You Too Think Critically in our True Off My Chest. Trigger warning. Gaslighting and manipulation. Less than. Original. The 3rd of October 22. Asked my husband if he still loved me. His answer: you ask some difficult questions. So, as I posted before, I've going through a lot at home. I've anxiety and my husband doesn't know how to cope with it. Now, I believe he simply doesn't want to cope.
We visited my doctor together, so he could understand a little bit about the situation. Generalized anxiety disorder and depression. Terrible idea. He criticized me all the time, blamed me for not getting better, and at the end said he didn't believe we could work out anymore. Yes, he said that to my doctor, who was trying to make him understand how GAD and depression are affecting me. At the end, I was crying and he was angry at me and at the doctor. He insisted I took him to a couples therapy without his consent. The next day I asked him the question I posted. When he couldn't answer if he still loved me, I removed my wedding ring and said we were done. I couldn't be with someone who couldn't answer this simple question. More than a decade together, and that's how he answered me.
He apologized, cried and said he doesn't love me anymore. My anxiety has destroyed his feelings for me. I'm heartbroken, but relieved, because I couldn't spend my energy on this relationship, when clearly I was the only one fighting for it. At least now, I know it's over. However, I feel lonely, since I will have to fight this mental disorder all by myself, family lives far away. I must get better for my children and I cannot move out right now, nor him. We will have 2 different bedrooms, while sharing the house. We will also talk to a mediator, in order to organize the separation while I'm fighting against GAD and depression. I hope it's gonna help.
We have the kids and they don't know yet how to tell them. I feel like I failed this family. And I'm afraid I will end up getting worse. Tell me, how did you cope with all of this, if you went through similar situation in your past? I need some hope. Thanks for reading. Update 1, 17 October 22nd. Update: asked my husband if he still loved me. His answer: you ask some difficult questions. Hello you all. First of all, thanks for the kind messages and PM I received.
I cannot thank you guys enough. I just want to make an update and also vent a little bit. So, after the decision to get separated, things got better at home. I believe that a weight has been removed from our shoulders. So we had almost no arguments. We were being kind to one another and my anxiety got better. As well as my depression. Things were so good that we made the mistake of sleeping together. That gave me lots of hope. Maybe we would find our way back together. After that, we talked. I told him we could not repeat that. I still have feelings for him. Said it would hurt me a lot if the sex meant nothing to him. We had a mediation session and tears were all over. We agreed he would no longer hug me when I left in the morning. The mediator said we had to cut those physical connections to avoid repeating the same mistake. Also, he would clear his office, which would become my new bedroom. It was difficult, but we cut off the hugs after a couple days. He, on the other hand, asked for the day off at work. I thought it would be to clean the office. But no. Later he told me he has an internal fight. He didn't want the separation, but he believed that it was necessary, because we were not happy together. I remind him he is the one who doesn't love me anymore, and that I am unhappy due to my depression. A couple days later we were discussing something and messages kept popping up on my phone. It was a Reddit male friend. Call X. Who has the same name as a friend. Call Z. I have over here. This same day, I would go to a party where Z would be attending. My ex got a bit uncomfortable and asked me if Z and I were flirting. I said no, and explained that the messages were from X, who lives in another country. He was clearly jealous, and when I returned from the party, My ex tried to have sex with me, which I denied. The next day, we talked about that and I asked him about his feelings. I assured him I was not interested in other people. Also, that, once again, we could not have sex if he didn't love me anymore. I asked him if he was unsure about his feelings. But he said he was just horny. Nothing else. I felt so disrespected. He knew about my feelings and tried having sex with me because he was horny? The next days I kept sending him photos of the new furniture I would need to buy for my new room. I was asking him some advices regarding the size of them. None of them was good. Too big, too small, too expensive. After that, I reminded him that he needed to clean the office. I told him that sharing a room was making things difficult for me. So, I asked him if he was having second thoughts. Because he was delaying it. Plus, he was issues with every suggestion I made regarding the furniture. He didn't even think twice before answering. Nah, I am being just lazy. You are complicating things. He suggested I could clean it myself. I reminded him that this was his job. And that we had agreed on that during the mediation. Yeah, this super sincere answer hurt. But, now we are back to arguments. Again, he does not accept my emotions and get angry or rude to me. Anytime I say something he doesn't like. Sometimes I feel like he deliberate confuses me. So I don't move on. Update 2. The 22nd of October 22. Update 2. Ask my husband if he still loved me. His answer. You ask some difficult questions. Just a quick update. We had a mediation session earlier this week. I spoke about the mixed signals he sent me. How they confused me and gave me hope. The mediator said exactly what you guys said. There is not coming back now. You made your decision clear. Ben, my ex. Can you see how you make her feel? It is not helpful. He cried and apologized to me. After the session I had a very depressive episode where I couldn't stop crying. He put me in bed, gave me my medicine and stayed with me until I fell asleep. This same night he started cleaning the office. Yesterday he went to the store to get my new mattress. So I didn't have to wait for delivery nor do it by myself. He also measured the things I needed and helped me with everything related to the new furniture. I think reality wasn't hitting him so deep down as it was supposed to be. Our next step will be the worst one. To tell the kids what's going on. I already prepared notes to send to their teachers and got a therapist in case they need someone to talk to. Once again, thanks for the kind messages and suggestions. I feel much better now. Update 3. The 5th of November 22. Update 3. Asked my husband if he still loved me. His answer. You ask some difficult questions. Hello again. My ex said something a time ago regarding a lost friendship and I would like to use this metaphor. Over here. This separation feels like grieving without a body to grieve on. I have to go through all the mourning phases. As if I have lost something. I did lose my emotional support. My confidant and who I used to lean on. I am learning how to walk alone again. And it hurts a lot. However, I am fine. It does not hurt as much as before and I feel less lost. I denied. I got angry, then tried to bargain. I got more depressed and hurt. But finally I arrived at acceptance. Each stage had its own time. I needed help to get over each one of them. I am not ready to date anyone. But I am having a blast getting to know new people. My ex, on the other hand, is having a hard time. He cried a lot last week. Got angry, tried to annul the separation and get back together. He asked me to change my passwords. So he would not give in to the desperation to check my phone. I tried to help him. Because I am like that. I love him. He is part of my life and my kid's dad. I cannot leave him suffering. So I offered him some help. Some support. But also, I respected my limits. My boundaries and I didn't betray my process. I didn't let him kiss me. but I gave him a hug when he needed. I was able to separate each feeling, because I was being his friend, not his wife anymore, and I was able to do that without jeopardizing my progress of acceptance. Now I sleep better. I can concentrate on my job, tell friends about my separation, and feel that my anxiety and depression are getting better. I am helping him as much as I can, but I accept that the separation is necessary at the moment. I accept that we might get back together in the future. Or not. I am not anxious about it right now. I am accepting the present and the past, and hoping for a better future. And for the first time in months, I told my therapist that in a couple months I might be able to reduce the dose of my medication. There is hope. There is a light at the end. We just need to accept that everything takes its own time. Update 4. The 8th of December 22. Update 4. Asked my husband if he still loved me. His answer. You ask some difficult questions. Hello. It's been a while, but so much has happened that I don't even know what to think about it. So, I decided to come here and tell you all about it. Please. You can judge me if you feel like it. So, I went to a birthday party with some friends and I met someone. Let's call him Nate. He is very nice, has a beautiful smile, and is also divorced. His ex told him she didn't love him anymore and asked for the divorce. Oh. But there is a problem. He used to be my ex's coworker. So, during the party, he and I talked a lot. Due to so much in commune, my friend reminded me we were both single and we were definitely enjoying each other's company. The party was amazing and I was drinking a lot, so I decided I would stay for the night in my friend's house. I was sitting on the floor when Nate came to sit close to me with a gorgeous smile. I felt like 1,000 butterflies were in my stomach. We were laughing, talking, and he was sitting very, very close to me. Suddenly he tried to kiss me, but I said no. I totally freaked out. I invited him outside so we could talk away from people. I said I thought that being with him would be a bad idea, due to my ex, Ben. Knowing him, when his ex asked for the divorce, he was very sad and told my ex about it. They were not friends, but they could have been. Nate told me he was really into me, complimented my beauty and my smile, and held my hand. We were both drinking a lot, so I just gave in and kissed him back. And it was amazing. I was not checking my phone and Ben was trying to reach me out to check if I was really okay. I usually don't drink to the point I cannot drive or take an Uber. So, Ben contacted my friend to ask if I was okay. So, my friend texted me to let me know what was going on. Since she knew I was with Nate, she told Ben I was with her, sleeping. When I came home in the morning, he started asking me questions. Where I was, who I was with. I told him I didn't have to answer him. It was my privacy. So, I found out he checked all my social media accounts and messages. Read all my private messages with my friend and wrote nasty things to her due to her lie. He also reached Nate and said nasty things to him too. He said they were friends and that Nate had betrayed him. Furthermore, he used a fake account, as sexy girl, to message a guy he thought I was with. Ben said I acted like a 20-year-old girl, who had no responsibilities nor kids. Because I came back in the morning, I felt terrible after that. I knew my kids were safe with him. But maybe he is right. He said I need to grow up and not go out drinking again like a young girl. It is not the first time he has told me that. Ben cried all day long, asked me to come back to him, to try again, and that he didn't want to lose me. I told him I didn't believe in his love at all, but he swore he truly loved me, that he was mistaken. I met Nate a couple days later to apologize for Ben's reactions. Nate told me things I didn't remember at all. Alcohol. According to him, I called myself too old to make out with someone, not attractive due to some white hairs and a mother's body, and that I didn't deserve his compliments. Nate was gentle and kind to me and said how much he wanted to spend time with me again. He made me feel beautiful and attractive again. And not too old. Nate will be away for 2 months now. He texted me a couple times and we saw each other again before his departure. He said he understands this is all new to me and too soon, but that he would like to take me on a date when he comes back. I, on the other hand, feel like being with him is wrong. Very wrong. And sleeping with or going on a date is even worse. Update 5. The 1st of February 23. Update 5. Asked my husband if he still loved me. His answer: you ask some difficult questions. First of all, thank you all for the kind messages, tips and concerns. It is amazing how strangers can mean so much. I will try to summarize as much as I can. Since a lot has happened, myself, I am much better now. And I am able to see things I couldn't before. I feel much better now, psychologically speaking. And next week I will visit my doctor. I still have some bad days, depression, but in general, I believe I am almost over it. Ben causes me lots of anxiety and we had some harsh talks about that. No, I hadn't moved out yet. Unfortunately, I currently live in a place where rents are increasing way too much. I cannot afford a place where I could live with my kids. But since we have a counselor, we are setting some strong boundaries. Ben, last month he decided to self-medicate himself for depression. Crazy. I know. He got an old prescription that was still valid and decided to go back to the medication without talking to the doctor. Now he says he understands my anxiety and depression and begged me for a second chance. I said no. I have realized how much he tried to manipulate me in the past and lots of gaslighting signs. He said bad things about Nate, tried to access my phone, changed my passwords twice this month, and made me feel suffocated, extremely haunted. He even used a fake profile to flirt with some guys friends of mine he was jealous with. I could not believe in it. I made myself clear about my limits and boundaries. This is not the man I fell in love with. Nate, we have been talking every other day. We might see each other this Friday, a day after he is back. He is always very sweet and understanding. So he told me this: I want to see you, no matter what we're doing together. So, no pressure regarding sex. Lol. He knows I am not ready for a serious relationship right now. Neither is he. We agreed on that we are living the present and whatever comes with it, we will handle it. I told him about my diagnostic and how things are complicated for me right now. Now, something really creepy. What are the chances Ben and Nate share the same birthday? My friend, who believes in astrology, said this is a bad sign. I don't believe in those things.
Reminder: I'm not the OOP.
Gee, what a mystery that Hoop's anxiety and depression cleared up as soon as she mentally disconnected from her marriage and decided on separation.
This is another classic case of you don't know what you've got till it's gone, on the part of the husband, not Hoop, of course. I hope she's able to get out of that house soon and get even further away from his manipulative ass.
She's realizing her ex was the cause of her depression.
From Update 5. Now he says he understands my anxiety and depression and begged me for a second chance. I said no. In what world is this a second chance? This guy jerked her around 5,000 times before Oop started flirting with some other guy. A second chance? Lol. Me internally screaming every time I see this update. He's the reason you're suffering from anxiety and depression. In every update he gets worse. I'm glad she's getting out. But meeting a guy 2 months after her first post is a giant red flag. I hope both her and Nate say that and keeps things casual. Jumping into new things that quickly is usually a recipe for disaster.
Oh God, it's this story again.
It's funny how when she decided to leave her husband, her anxiety and depression got way better. Weird. My petty ass. Eating popcorn while reading. Girl. The only appropriate response to him crying and begging for you to take him back was, sorry. Your anxiety and depression have destroyed my feelings for you. Fucking yikes. The best thing she could do for herself now is either kick his ass out or move out herself. This is getting dragged on and it's so needless. Rip the band-aid. You're done. So stop living together and giving him that access to your life. I read the original and first update a while ago, and I'm glad she's continuing to stand up for herself and ignoring her ex's love bombing, hoping that he stops being a creep, otherwise he'll have a restraining order in the works and more stress for Oop. Jesus Christ, every time I read this story I just want to shout into the abyss that she needs to kick his ass out and get a roommate. Her ex-husband Suix. It makes me so sad that Oop severed her feeling for her ex-husband, mentally assessed herself and is on the road to recovery. Feels free, but feels immense guilt for connecting with any other potential love interest, even if it's just sitting next to them and being complimented. The world is her oyster now. Make new memories and have new experiences. Leave the past in the past as much as she can. Having kids and with him and all. I pray to God he doesn't keep triggering her anxiety and guilting her for finding a new relationship years down the line. Now, something really creepy. What are the chances Ben and Nate share the same birthday? My friend, who believes in astrology, said this is a bad sign. I don't believe in those things. Maybe Oop should ask herself if the Nate she communicates with online is Ben.
My God, get out of that house.
Trigger warning: gaslighting. People use this word incorrectly a lot. There was no gaslighting. X never tried to deny what he said or make Oop think she imagined it. His actions were manipulative at many moments. But there was no gaslighting. How dare she go out drinking on occasion? She should illegally access her ex's accounts and catfish people. Like an adult. Seriously, toxic people can make your life so much worse than needed. I have 2 ex-friends that as soon as they were out of my life, my anxiety and depression started getting a lot better. Made me feel suffocated. This is the key feeling if you're in a toxic relationship or friendship or familyship. If you feel this, it either has to be addressed and fixed or over. Having mental illness or loving someone with mental illness can be quite difficult. I wish the best for everyone involved in this story.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.